Hi, I'm Francois from Tabaldi. And in this video, I want to talk to you about your approach to your undergrad modules and how you can save yourself so much time and frustration and energy by studying the right way. Now, it happens so often that a week or two before the final exams, students contact us and they want help because they've left too late. Or they start off and they just hunt for solutions for assignments and they don't really study the work properly, and then they have to play catch up just before the exams. Now, I would suggest you tackle a module, and this applies to all of them, but let's take management accounting as an example. So I would take the study guide or the TUT letter and look at the index, so see how many topics there are. So some modules have 20 topics or learning units or study units, others might only have 10 or 12. And you can take the time that you have because everyone starts at different points. So if you have 3 months or 2 months to study, divide the topics into those months and see how many days you have for each of the topics. So you have kind of a plan to work towards. Now, when you start the topics, or when you start studying, don't just first focus on the assignments and try to get them out of the way, because many students do this. They hunt for solutions, they look around for solutions, and that's all they worry about. They don't care whether they understand the work or not. They just want to get the assignments in, and then they tell themselves, I'll study later on before the exam. Now, you waste so much time doing this. A better approach is to start right from the beginning. So, for instance, if the first assignment covers the first 5 topics, take those 5 topics and work through them properly. So, start with topic 1 and read the introduction, read the basic notes on it, and the first thing that you want to figure out is, what is this topic about and why would a company care about it? So for instance, if this is activity-based costing, what is activity-based costing? Activity-based costing is a way or a method we use to allocate overheads more fairly to different products or more accurately to different products. So that is what we are doing. Why do we need this? Well, if we don't accurately allocate overheads, our costs will be wrong and we won't know what to charge for those products, or we won't know whether the product is actually profitable. So if you understand the what and the why, now this shouldn't take you forever. You can spend half an hour on a topic to answer the what and the why for each topic, especially if you've studied this in the past. Once you have the what and the why, you can work through some examples. So short class examples. Students often complain that the class examples are too easy and then the exam questions are long and difficult. But you need to understand the easy examples first. And the way to do this is to do the example without looking at the solution. If you can't even do the basic example and get it 100% right, how would you ever do the difficult questions in the exam? So use the class examples, the little examples in your notes or textbooks, to test yourself, test whether you can do it. And then if you can move on to longer questions. Now that brings me to the next thing, and you've heard this often before, and that is to do questions yourself and do them blind without peeking at the solution. Now, why is this so important? So imagine you trying to train for a marathon. You want to run your first marathon and you've never run before. Now, studying theory is like reading up on marathons, asking your friends how to run a marathon, Googling it, watching YouTube videos on how to run a marathon. Now, you can know everything there is to run a marathon, but until you go for your first training run, you haven't started preparing for the marathon. And that's the same with exams. Until you've done your first question blind without the solution, you haven't started preparing for the exam. That is the thing they're going to test in the final exam. They're going to test whether you can do a question without any help. Now, why would you go through theory and repeat it and memorize it over and over again and watch videos but never practice a question if that is what you're going to have to do in the exam? So doing questions early on is super important. And that's what you can use your assignments for. Once you've done the 5 topics in the first assignment, you've done the what and the why, you've done the class examples, you understand a little bit, go and do the assignment and test yourself whether you understand it. Now, if you get stuck on something, you know what to go and fix. But if you start with the assignment without understanding any of the work, you're going to waste so much time trying to get to answers without understanding it, and then you have to start over again before the exam anyways. Now, once you've submitted your assignments, do more questions on those topics. Well, obviously, we'll go through all the topics. And then before exam time, you have to leave yourself enough time to do lots of questions without solutions. You need to get good at answering questions without having the benefit of the solution next to you. And then you can go back to the theory and fix the holes that you've identified in your understanding. And that is the approach we follow. And I know there's a lot of work to work through. You've got a lot of tut letters or study notes or big packs full of notes, textbooks, prescribed textbooks, etc., and maybe online learning material. And that is what we found is it is almost impossible to work through all of that on your own as a part-time student. And that's why we've worked through all of your work, all of the material, and prepared our online lectures. So you can simply start with the lectures without worrying about the study notes or the tut letters. Even before you receive it, you can start watching the lectures. We go through everything you need to know to pass the exams. So once you've watched the lectures, you can start practicing questions and get good and answering questions without the benefit of the solution. So if you want to find out more, chat to us. There's links in the description below on how to contact us. If you have any questions about how to study for any of the accounting modules, or if you want to check out our website for the different courses we offer, we'd love to hear from you. Or leave a comment if you have any questions on any of the modules that you have to study towards becoming a professional accountant. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and more examples of our lecture videos. Cheerio!